like wrap up everything that's happened like in the last 3 days because it's been a little draining. But for anyone that didn't see the video that got deleted and the last video I made, there's been two videos made in like the last 3 days. And one of them, I was coming to talk about a situation that was connected to many other things I wanted to talk about, but it got derailed because the person that I was inspired by, like the conflict that inspired me to come, they decided they wanted to just be in the chat just to, again, make it seem like I was lying on them when at the end of the day, I really wish that they would have considered, this person is not naming you. This person, well, I feel like I ended up naming them in the second one. But in the first one, I wasn't going to name them. I had no desire to talk about them. Like, as a person, I was more so trying to talk about the spirit that they invoked in me. But again, the first live got fucked up because the person I was inspired by decided to come in to try to make it seem like I was a liar. And the thing that sucks about this is they never ever once confirmed that I was lying about anything. If anything, all they did was just reaffirm that they actually had energy to engage online. Like everything that they were telling me about how their mental health was so affected that they couldn't uplift Black political content that implicates us as colorists, as privileged people, the mutual aid flyers that I stay sharing, like everything they did after I checked in with them about support showed that they actually had a lot of energy. Where did they use it though? So again, I feel like that entire situation just speaks for itself to me. But for some reason, what up, Precious Gem? For some reason, there's a person that's been in the chat, and again, I'm not going to name their name because that's not the point to me. But they started doing something that kind of just has me like wanting to come here and just again emote. I deleted the I hid them from the channel, so I don't think you can see the comment section of the last video I posted. But the last video I posted was the video where I named the person and I talked about how we were on Discord and they started to just spiral. They started to tell me that they're going to start saying that they're Black again. They started to tell me that I, of all people, shouldn't be talking about them being not Black. What up, Mish? Listen, it's I don't want to make it seem like anyone's bad because we can all have conflict. That's not the issue. We can always rupture in our connection, and I feel like because it's so parasocial, some of y'all, we don't talk outside of the chat. So I think that things that are said in the chat can sometimes feel like it just is what it is. And so I'm grateful that I feel safe enough to be like, you know what? Again, conflict is not the issue. Like we can always have issues. We can always have a conflict. The conflict is not the problem. How we go about our conflict and what happens afterwards, I think are the true measure of what the fuck was happening pre the conflict. And so, like I said, me and this person barely had conflict, but when we finally did have conflict, it was just kind of like, okay, you're upset that I'm hurt. Okay. Instead of them taking a moment to consider, like, yeah, it is really hurtful to not support someone in the ways that they're offering that are free. Like they're asking for free support. They're asking for support on behalf of other people, not just for themselves. Again, even if I was asking for just myself, that would still be valid after this long. It's been a decade of me knowing of this person. I don't want to say we've been cool for 10 years. That's not true. I think, again, being parasocial means that, yeah, I've seen your screen name for a while. And yeah, we laugh and kiki. But once you cross that boundary and decide like you're going to be DMing me, you're going to have my phone number, we're going to talk outside the chat, I think that, again, it can build a sense of intimacy that may not really be there, which is a mindfuck for the creator who, again, is not going to you as the person that's watching and commenting in chat. Again, I feel like there's a part of me that feels like because I didn't go to them to communicate, there's a part of me that just feels like more betrayed because it's like you're coming closer to me and I don't know. Again, I can feel my feelings. I'm not trying to, again, make it seem like this person is like a demon. I did call them demonic, though. I'm not going to lie. After everything, I did call them demonic. I'm going to be real with that. But again, did I think they were demonic before I made my second video? No. No, I didn't. I really thought that like when everything was going down in the first one, that's when I started to realize like, oh, okay. Listen, me neither. Me neither. Me neither, friends. Me neither. I don't always have good conflict resolution either. So again, I feel like that's my energy coming into this is I don't even know how to act all the time, and I'm not going to pretend like I do. I'm not going to act like I always did the right thing. Never that. What I'm trying to offer though is like there's ways to have conflict with me, especially if you're so vocal in the chat. I clearly want to hear from you. I clearly care about what you think. And so again, there was somebody in the chat who, in my humblest opinion, and I'm not going to say their name because it's not about them. It's about the spirit. It felt like there were multiple moments where I was bringing up something really vulnerable, really hurtful. And it always felt like they always had like another way of seeing it that felt hurtful personally. Thank you. Thank you so much. We appreciate. We appreciate. But like I was saying though, it felt like they weren't really connecting with what I was saying. It always felt like they were trying to get the other side. And it really sucked because there were times where, what up, Golden? There were times where it definitely felt like to me, like, damn, are you even hearing what I'm saying? Because it really felt like there were times that it didn't matter what I was saying, like they were going to be devil's advocate. And so the thing that stands out to me, because again, I'm not trying to go backwards and be like, these are all the times where I thought something strange was happening. But I want to name that in the live that stayed up, I named like this person as being contrarian for no reason. And in retrospect, maybe there was a reason. Maybe there's something that I did to them. Maybe I said something to them in a live 10 years ago, 5 years ago, and maybe they're still mad. That is real. Do I know about that? No, I don't. So again, it's the ways that like I've had a little bit of tension with this person, but I just took it up as, maybe they just feel really strongly. I know what that's like to feel strongly. And so I've been letting it go for a while. But when that person came into the live to try to make me seem like a liar, it was like they didn't see that, even though they were there. They was really trying to play with me like they didn't see that shit. And in the next live, they were operating like they didn't know what happened, and it was awkward because again, you were there. You were literally in the live while it was devolving into shit. And then I come back to try to like explain what just happened, why the live deleted, also that I talked to this person again. And as I'm talking, I'm literally naming like this is a whole mixed person who is causing pain, causing harm, causing confusion. And it was awkward as fuck because I was just like, what is the point of all this? What is the point? Why are we doing this? I just really wondered, like, what is the function of you operate like you pretending like you didn't see someone come in here and try to antagonize me, and then you're in the chat again playing devil's advocate, trying to make it seem like there could be a reason for this. And so again, I want to name that I'm talking about a person who is literally telling me that they like, keep in mind, they just told me that their mental health is so bad that they can't even post on their behalf. You know what I mean? They're telling me they can't even post on their behalf. They're telling me they can't even post their own content. But when we finally like get into a conflict, they're on the live typing for dear life, making like trying to get their side out when it's like, what is your side? You said you're too sick to share mutual aid and uplift Black Politico. Then you were trying to figure out, did I block you? You're worried about a lack of connection when I already told you how we could be more connected. I'm literally telling you what could connect us, what could reconnect us after a disconnection. And you're like, I'm going to just choose to try to make a spectacle of this moment, which again, only further showed me that you don't respect me. You don't respect the work I do. You don't respect the risk I take. Like, you don't respect a lot of things about me, which hurts because again, I've respected you. I've been very respectful to you. So it hurt my feelings, but I'm not about to sit up here and make it seem like, oh my God, like, no. But again, they want a spectacle because obviously they were triggered. They didn't think I was going to dip out on a connection that was, again, telling me no without telling me no. I was like, all right, then it's no from me. Once it was no from me, once it was a solid no thank you, And I also want to say this, I didn't even unfollow them during that conflict. I had already unfollowed them pre that moment. So they only noticed after that conversation. They did not notice that we were not connected for over a week at that point. I didn't put that in because I had forgot that shit. Just like I forgot, and this is random, but I want people to update my notes, update my thread. I made a video where I was talking about when I first got to Erin's house. Erin was literally sending listings for housing to the white people that live next door to her. And I forgot about that completely because she was gaslighting me and trying to make me feel like I'm the reason the white people next door was going to move out. Meanwhile, there was literally a moment when I first got there, like first day, where she was telling the white people next door, like, you got to get up out of here because the brown person that you didn't give a fuck about is now in trouble and needs this housing. So she went from like trying to remove them from the house with like passive aggressive text, and then had the nerve to be like, oh, you're the reason why they moved out. And it's like, girl, you actually did a lot as the landlord. Me sending them a text message, like me randomly texting them, that wasn't shit. You're the landlord talking about here's a Zillow link, girl. When I seen that shit, like, that's why I watch my old videos, because I dead ass be forgetting shit. Like, and it's not just because I smoke, it's also because, bitch, I'm traumatized as fuck. Like, I'm telling these stories in the midst of them happening. I'm not gonna remember every fucking thing. So I tried my best to say as much as I remember, because one day I'm gonna go back to the video and be like, bitch. But again, watching that part had me just screaming, because I was just like, yo, but I'm a bitch who can't flush a toilet right. Meanwhile, you was intimidating your neighbors who were literally paying you, and you tried to put it on me. And I'm sure I'm a bitch in a hoe. You know what I mean? I'm sure at this point I'm a bitch in a hoe. She ain't never gonna say, oh yeah, I was texting them Zillow links. She ain't never gonna say that part. And that's the thing. Like, I feel like it's not about making anyone be a bad person or anything like that. It's more like sometimes people make bad decisions and they affect us. We can talk about it. I don't think that's a problem. Getting back to the crux of why I came here though. Like I said, this person was in chat watching me get cussed the fuck out by this person who was lying on me for their pride. I don't know, bitch. I really don't know. But after that, me and that person talked on Discord, not the person I'm talking about, but the person, Anthony, where they started just like going in about how, every 2 Fridays I get a check. Like and again, they've been following me and watching my content for 10 plus years. Why are you texting me about how you're employed? Girl, you just told me you're sick. You just told me you're down bad. Now that we're in a conflict, now you're performing like actually everything is good with me. I have money coming in. I've been housed consistently since 2019. And it's like, this ain't what you've been telling me. So either you was lying or you was lying. So again, it's the way that they popped up in the live to try to make me feel like a liar. But every time we wasn't on a live screen, every time they wasn't being seen in DM, there was. So again, they projected on me that I was lying when, again, if someone don't like me, they could be like, why are you asking people to share your flyer? Like, if you don't like me, that's fine. But like, why would I ask someone who's literally telling me we're friends to share uplift content? Again, I was trying to be nice to the person in the chat because I'm really not trying to make it seem like you have to understand where I'm coming from. Not at all. I, again, do not expect people to understand my life. It's been very fucking precarious and it's been very fucking random. Like, who knew? But at this point, I'm just trying to hold space for the fact that everyone's not going to understand what the fuck I'm talking about. And that's okay. I have to just let that shit go and not make it like the conflict, like not make that the center of our issue, because the real issue is that we're speaking the colonizer's language and that's all we have. That's the sickest part of it. Is like we have language that we didn't even get to choose. Words mean like 16 things. Like it makes sense why we'd have miscommunication from time to time, or just not be able to meet people where they are emotionally, because again, that shit didn't happen to you and you don't have the empathy built inside of you. I know what that's like. I know what that's like to be like, oh shit, that's crazy, because you really don't know what to do. You don't know how to be supportive. That's real. But again, if that's the case, it's free to shut up. It's free to be quiet. It's free to just observe something that you just honestly don't know what to do. You don't know how to connect with that person. It's okay. It's okay to not have it. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. But again, this person kept on making it seem like there's all these reasons why somebody would treat me poorly. And it just really bothered the fuck out of me. On top of that, there was a moment that was ironic as fuck because I'm literally sitting there being like, black folk don't owe anybody anything. If you're a black person, like you, like whatever you do, like that, like you owe us not one thing. And yet, like in the moment when I'm talking to this person, they're invoking their blackness to make it seem as if their points are more valid. And I'm not trying to take away from someone black pushing back on something that they're very aware of and that they know more about. The issue for me was that they were trying to make it seem as if like their expertise around blackness was necessary in a moment where I'm talking about two light-skinned fools who are not even light-skinned, two mixed people who are being foolish as fuck and fighting about something very goofy. Because at the end of the fucking day, if somebody is not being supportive, what's there to say? Like what is there really to say next? But again, it's the ways that like this person didn't want to let me go. And I was trying, I feel like even to the end, to like just still remind them that like, disconnecting with me doesn't change the reality of your situation. Like we don't gotta be friends for you to still be a mixed person who's causing harm, And again, like the ways that I was trying through it to educate and fight with integrity, because again, I fought with people and just cussed them out. Like I just said some crazy shit and just moved on. Like I'm trying to remember the outro could be a moment to extend, like, this shit wasn't good. This shit didn't work out. But again, there was no outro for us with that situation with me and Anthony, because again, I told them they was being demonic in the live. I did not expect them to pop up in the live and try to make it seem like I did something wrong by not accepting what they said. But again, the person who was in the live was very much invested in sharing their experiences with sharing or uplifting. I don't even know what they were trying to do, but it was giving Lizzo. Like I know some people don't want to hear this, but there are moments where there's nothing to add. It's just a fucked up story to hear out. And again, I know they wanted to try to support or they wanted to try to be a part of the conversation, which I always appreciate people talking in the chat. I love that. Don't want to stop that. But I do want to acknowledge that like if I'm telling you about someone causing harm to me, I'm letting you know that I've been harmed. Like I feel like that's a moment to be, again, emotionally intelligent if you have it. If you don't, please just be quiet. Like that's all I want. Just please be quiet, because I don't want to hear you try to understand why someone caused me harm. I don't want to hear that. So with that being said, after me and this person had a back and forth, I felt like I told them exactly how I felt in the conversation. And again, people will figure out who it is if they go to the last video and watch me have a back and forth with this person. But the thing I was trying to impress at one point was that, yes, no black folks owe us anything. Asterisk. If you're like we don't know what you look like. There's no picture of you. There's no social media presence for like. Again, there are people lying about being black. So if you start lying, if you tell me you're black and then you start using the one drop rule to understand an abuser, and then you start saying that like is it fair and what right do I have to push back on a fellow mixed person causing harm in black spaces? It's like that thought process. It's not giving like someone who, again, is decolonizing. It's giving someone that's, again, trying to stay in the same patterns of comfort in the past. And again, this don't mean that you're not black, but it does have me wondering like how you behave when like black folks are being harmed. Do you try to understand the abuser? Yuck. And so in that moment, when I saw their comment, it kind of just hit me that like, like we done had a back and forth in the chat. Like they actually really like derailed the conversation several times by not listening and wanting to interject. And then again, the times they were interjecting, they were talking about the one drop rule and talking about, is it fair to tell people they're not black when they've already said they're not black? Like that's the thing for me. This person has already went through like that moment of like, oh shit, I'm not black. Oh shit, I'm mixed. Oh shit, I'm causing harm. They've already gone through that. And now they're deciding, I'm black. Shut up. How dare you? And now I'm going to use AAVE to intimidate you. That was what I wanted to bring up. But again, this person was trying so hard to try to understand this mixed person who was abusing me, honestly, abusing me for thinking that we had a connection, for me to be honest. Again, they're not the only person who's done this. So that's why it's not just about them. It's about the fact that, like, when you think, oh yeah, I've seen your name in my chats. Yeah, we talk like every other week. Like, you're asking me for stuff. Yeah, you're making money off of me and telling me about how you're making money off of me. I'm thinking that it's cool if I ask you to share a flyer. I'm thinking that it's cool to ask you like why you're not uplifting certain content. I think it's cool. Again, some of y'all don't know what it's like to be me, and I don't expect that. I don't. But I do expect folks to consider and use a little bit of nuance here. Why would I just ask a random person to share my flyer? I probably wouldn't. Why would I need a flyer share? What's going on? Again, there were a couple people when I was talking about this that were being so loving, and like, I really hate that I didn't focus more on them, but there was just so much happening. But I just want to say, for the folks that asked me if I ate, for the folks that asked me if I'm good, like in the immediate, thank you. I appreciate that. I feel like, as I said before, my partner works full time and I'm doing sex work on top of plant work. Like, I'm doing two risky things to survive. I talk about them here. I don't know how anyone could think that I'm just chilling. I don't know how anyone could think that. Like, I remember the other day, my partner looked at me and was like, if anyone ever thinks sex work's not real, he's like, I just want you to put the camera, like, he's like, I want you to set the camera up when you're talking to some of these men, because like, people would never fucking say anything about sex workers again. And I'm like, they wouldn't, but it's not worth it to me. It's not worth it to me to share that much. But again, it's the ways that, like, I'm with a man who knows that me talking to men to get money is crazy as fuck, because they're wild right now. Like, they've been wild, but especially so. So again, I'm about to look at the chat, but I didn't want to lose my thought process when I was talking. But basically, this person was in the chat trying to talk about like, if people make a mistake and you just cut them off, you're going to lose support. That person wasn't supporting me, and I was asking for support. I'm not about to lose support because I tell someone like, hey, I need you. Hey, can you show up? That's not what makes people leave your life. That's not what makes people disappear on you. I truly believe like we weren't that connected, and or I think they had some resentment for me, and or I think they have some resentment for Black women. I think it could be deeper than what the fuck I think, for sure. No shade. Like, I think it's deeper than what the fuck I could even imagine, because again, I don't know what it's like to have a Black mother. Maybe they are going through something different. I know the white mama mixed people going through something. I know we are. So I don't want to make it seem like right now this can't be a moment for the other folk, you know what I mean, who again may have really thought my Black mother makes me Black and therefore I'm going to wield power a certain way. Again, I've said this before. When I thought I was a Black person, I absolutely had an attitude at times with people, a smugness, a rudeness. And again, this is me trying to acknowledge that there are a lot of mixed people who use their Black identity to harm. And it's unfortunate, or rather use Black ancestry, use proximity to Blackness to harm. It's something that we don't talk about much, because who is it happening to? Consider that. Who is it happening to? White people. And who else? Again, just consider who's being harmed and why you haven't heard about this. Just consider the fallout. Just please consider that. Again, listen, I am winning, Nima. I'm winning, like, babe, like I literally, like, I don't want to cry, but like, these are happy tears. Like, just so y'all know. I literally had a combo with somebody and I was like, my biggest flex is after everything, bitch, I'm still not hard and cold and treating people the way I've been treated. So I'll never accept that, like, I have not shifted my behavior. I'll never accept that there's a pattern of like, of scarcity and lack around me. Like, I'll never be able to see that, because again, having conflict with people and feeling safe enough to tell y'all about it, that is strong as fuck. You know how many of us have had conflict with people and we're embarrassed? Even though we didn't do nothing wrong, we stood up for ourselves. We'll be embarrassed. We'll feel like, damn, am I the bad one? You know how many people have kicked me out of my house? You know how easy it would be for me to be like, it's something wrong with me. You know how easy it would be for me to really think like fundamentally something's wrong with me based on this society? Like, you know how many times I stood up, bitch? You know how many bricks got thrown at me and I built houses? Like, do you know how many times? Like, motherfuckers tried to bounce me out and I bounced back and I didn't do it by myself. And so I'm gonna always be the bitch that posts a flyer. Yep. And I'm gonna post yours too when you need it, because you're gonna fucking need it. And I'm not saying that to be threatening you. I'm saying to let you know you're protected. You have support. Do not be shitty to me and think that it's not going to fucking add up at some point. I was never shitty to that person. But it's very interesting that as soon as I said, you know what? I'm not gonna take this lack of this scarcity. I'm not gonna take it. If you're not there, you're not there. That's okay. They couldn't take me saying I'm good. They couldn't take that. People be really thinking you're gonna always be there, and it's hurtful because again, I was there for a while. And this is not me saying they weren't there for me. This is me saying that I made a request and they were acting as if they was about to die for sure. Like, babe, again, the way they made it seem, you would have thought they were about to go to the mental hospital. For them to literally go through my live and try to fight with me through the live, try to fight with me on Discord, try to make me feel like I'm a bum, gonna call me pathetic. It's like, okay. Like, again, it's like this all started because I felt safe enough to ask them, like, yo, where are you? Where have you been? I needed support. Other folks need support. Like, you're always in my story. Like, can you do something more? Oh, you're sick? Okay. Already was removed from my channel. Already was removed, not from the channel, but already was removed from the live. But it's funny, when they came to talk to me, they're not on their account. They're on a burner. Again, they don't want to be known, really. They wanted to hurt me, even though you already hurt me by not listening when I'm talking to you about what I'm saying. Like, again, it's like the disrespect happened as soon as you tried to make it seem like Black Political was the same as me asking you to share a reel or some shit. Like, it's like as soon as you made it seem like, you can't post your social media guru content, and it was like, all right, cool. Again, I don't want to make it seem like I'm the best person. I'm certainly not, bitch. I have done some wild things. There's so many reasons to not like my ass or to not prefer me. That is just fine. But don't be in my face for fucking a decade. Like, don't do that and then make it seem like, oh, I'm demanding anything of you. Nobody demanded anything. Like, I feel like that's the part that irks the fuck out of me. Cause it's like, bitch, have you ever had someone roll up on you and be like, you better share my flyer? Like, what the fuck? Like, woo! But again, it's the ways that, like, again, what can I do other than tell what happened from my perspective? Because again, from their perspective, I wanted just too much. I wanted too much. And then because I wanted so much, they had to pop up in the live to tell their side. A random person, unnamed, at that point, I even said, can you give me your initials so I know you're even who I'm talking to? Like, I'm over here trying to like make it like I was never like, oh no, they're here. I was like, can you just like verify who you are? Because I want to know who I'm talking to. They were so like ready to, they weren't even holding space for the fact that it's like, this could have been another moment for you to at least acknowledge, like, yeah, bitch, you said you was sick. Why are you on the live? Anyways, though, but like I said, my biggest flex is that at the end of the day, I don't treat people how the fuck I've been treated. And so if you come at me crazy or you're operating as if, oh, this person made a mistake, because that's another thing the person said. They were like, oh, if you just discard people every time they make a mistake, I've seen a pattern with you. You haven't seen a pattern of shit. Leave me alone. If I have a fallout with somebody, it probably wasn't connected to nothing else. It was probably both of us deciding we don't need to be in community anymore in some way, shape, or form. Conflicts don't have to always be one-sided. Like I said with that person with the phone, when I think about it, it's like we never had a conflict either, really. But again, it's the way they tried to make it seem like because they had left their house to do something that they offered to do for me and got hurt or something happened that I still don't know what happened. They're making it seem like I'm a bitch and I didn't want to really be their friend. It's like, girl, like, that's not the case. But again, what can I do about that? In their mind, I'm the reason they were assaulted. In their mind, I'm the reason why bad things happened to them, all because they were doing something for me. In retrospect, I'm glad that they're no longer in my life because I can't handle that. I can't handle someone that, like, can you imagine? Like, imagine you go to bring somebody something and you fall or you trip and now you mad at them because you're like, bitch, just because I was outside trying to help you. What the fuck? Bitch, hell no. Hell no. Mm-mm. And again, I know what that's like, to be inconvenienced by a friend and be annoyed, but you can choose how you want to respond to that person. Which is bringing me back to my point. None of y'all are my friends. It would be cool to build a connection for sure. I'm not saying don't talk to me. I'm just saying, like, the expectation of connection, the expectation that a lot of people have. And like, even this person, like see, another thing popped up. This person I'm talking about, they were like, oh, they're like, people need to say what they're expecting from connection. And I don't disagree, but again, it was one of those moments where it's like I'm naming someone, like literally deciding, they're not going to be honest with me. They're going to instead trauma dump on me to get me to like shut the fuck up, which I did. But like making it seem as if like that's what friendship just is. Like, you tell your friend something vulnerable and then they trauma dump on you as kind of a, well, it's bad over here too. It's like, okay, all right. Like, and again, in retrospect, I wish I would have just checked in and said, like, do you have capacity to have a conversation? Because I feel like that would have really stopped everything from even going in motion. So I could own that, like, I should have just checked in to see if they were even open to having a conversation. Because just because they were talking to me doesn't mean they were ready to have a deeper combo. I'm glad. Thank you, Mateo. Thanks, Boo. Golden, I don't know if anyone's censoring you, but I'm not really reading the chat. Water Shrimp, thanks. I appreciate you. A lot of mixed are weird and have their own identity issues. No, Chibi, bitch, same. I'm not trying to make it seem like I don't have identity issues. I definitely do. But I'm also not trying to like be fighting with all the mixed people for what? Like, that's my people. Like, what the fuck? But again, it's the ways that like they didn't want to be my people. They wanted to. Yeah, again, I'm not trying to make it seem like it's easy being a mixed person, because like that's not what I'm even thinking about. I'm thinking about the ways that like we have to sit with discomfort if we're gonna do anything different. Think about how comfortable some people are with the way things are. Think about how uncomfortable people are right now compared to the rest of us who have been sitting in discomfort for much longer. Again, it's the ways that I don't think everyone is gonna understand where I'm coming from, but that situation with Anthony was hurtful as fuck. But what was strange for me was, again, someone in chat that nobody has ever seen the picture of being like, I'm black and I don't care what mixed people do. I don't care if mixed people lie about being black. And it's like, okay. And it's like, again, it's the ways that like, that's fine. You're allowed to have that opinion away from me. I don't want to deal with anybody who's trying to make it seem like, oh, well, I'm the black person that's cool with erasure. Nah, get away, please. And again, I didn't say this in the moment. I was trying to like remember that, like, they can say however they feel, but at the same time, it's like, what is the quality of that communication? Again, I'm grateful for people that talk in chat, because some people really just come here and just, you might be on a Stairmaster. You might have babies in the back. Who knows what you got going on? I'm not trying to talk shit. I'm just saying, like, sometimes, like, the people that talk the most, some of them do not mean well. And again, there is someone that doesn't like me that makes an account every now and then at some point get put out because I stopped being gracious with them, because again, it becomes obvious you just want to say something contrarian for what? Again, if you are a black person and you don't care about erasure, leave me alone. Please, because I don't know what the point of this is. Like, it really felt like the point was to get me to fight with somebody who's claiming to be black. Like, for what? Come on. Like, I be seeing a setup sometimes. I'd be like, bitch, what is the point of this? Like, okay, so you're a black person now. You want to claim that you... Like, just the other day, somebody was like, I have many biracials in my family. I was like, okay, so you're a biracial expert. I got it. Like, I'm not fighting with none of y'all. Y'all want to say that you're biracial experts, quadroon experts? That's fine. Be that. I don't want no parts. I don't want any fucking parts of it. Like, I don't feel like I'm an expert on mixed people at all. I've been trying to learn for a while, but if you look at my birth chart, which I posted several times, I'm naturally curious as a person. I was never going to just be sitting here like, I guess this is just what it is. Never that. Look into your birth chart. You're going to figure out why the fuck you do what you do. I am very curious. I naturally ask questions. I naturally want to know more. And because of that, living in America, being non-white, people will always think like there's something sinister happening. because information is supposed to be gatekept. I'm not supposed to know as much as I know. I'm absolutely not. I'm at a point where I realize it's dangerous to be very curious here. Because I hit a couple walls a couple times, and I'm at a point where like there is no wall. Like I see that there's manipulation constantly, that there's so much confusion. It's easy to lie. And seeing that makes me want to tell as much of the truth as I fucking can. I'm not trying to tell the truth to be the best person. No, there's no good people. That doesn't even fucking exist. It's another manipulation tactic to keep you doing shit that makes people comfortable. As soon as you go out of comfort zone with people, that's when you become dangerous, a bitch, a hoe, all these negative things. And again, what did you do? You was curious. And again, like I asked somebody recently, like somebody unfollowed me. I was like, hey, can I just check in about like, obviously you don't have to explain anything, but I was like, we used to talk. They're like, bitch, they were like, I thought you unfollowed me. I was like, that's funny as fuck. So sometimes like the risk we're afraid to take, look at that. Like I actually didn't lose connection with this person. It was a technical. But again, it's like there's gonna be times where there's nothing to say. Like people just leave, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, I'm not telling people to leave because they're treating me well. I am never telling nobody who's treating me good to leave ever. But it's taking the time to figure out who's not treating me the best, and also if I should keep tolerating this poor treatment. And I'm not going to hide from that reality. Like I've definitely had low self-esteem with connection because I was scared to lose it. But someone in my comment section talking about they seen a pattern with me and discarding people for making mistakes. I'm not discarding anyone for making a mistake. I'm getting away from people who don't communicate clearly. I'm getting away from people who make it seem as if I caused them pain or harm by protecting myself, by rejecting what they were offering. I'm getting away from people who decide that I'm really the problem when I've told them about a problem that can be fixed. Like I'm tired. I feel like I'm getting away from several types of people. And I think that again, just with how everything went with Anthony, it's clear, like you can't get away from everybody. And some people will soft discard you and then be upset that you're talking about it because it hurt your feelings. It did hurt to be discarded by Anthony. It did hurt. But again, I had already unfollowed them because they had already like kept looking at my story, even though they're passing by so many mutual aid flyers, not just mine. And I'm like, how do you just keep on looking at my story? Like you must only be looking to purchase, which is why I said, like, are you ready to, and why I did check in about them making an order, because I'm just like, you've been ignoring everything the fuck else. You must only be looking for one thing. And then again, them making it seem like, oh no, like, I just ain't been posting in general. That's real as fuck. But to keep going and to make it seem like you're hanging on by a thread, clearly fucking not. You was all night playing on the phone, acting stupid. Like you clearly weren't that sick, bitch. Like you clearly were wanting someone to fight for what? I'm not fighting with anybody. If you don't care enough to share something, don't ask me for anything. And I think that's the bigger issue, is they really thought like, oh, I've done enough for you. If that's how you feel, that's fine. Me too. Like, again, I was trying to match their energy to the maximum. It's like, oh, okay. You don't care? All right. It's the way they clearly really cared. And again, I'm just sitting with the reality that you could be in a transactional relationship, and as soon as you try to branch out or whatever the fuck, it's not gonna be that. You're not gonna have that. You're not gonna get it. It's fine. Nima, come through. I don't think you're trauma dumping. Like, listen, I understand people like have to talk about traumatic things. Like, I don't want anyone to think like you can't talk about traumatic things. I'm just more so naming. Like, let's say somebody pops up on you and y'all are cool. And they're, they check in, they're like, do you have time to hear me? And you're like, yeah, I got time to hear you. Again, if I would have checked in to see if they had time to hear me, maybe things would have went different. I'm not above like seeing my behavior as something that could have been different. I don't disagree. Like I've definitely made some mistakes. trying to connect with people because trying to connect with people, and then I didn't have the conflict resolution. I didn't have the soft skills. I didn't have the empathy built. Like, these are things that are real. So I'm not trying to make it seem like, oh, damn, like Anthony's not on my level. It's not that. It's more that, like, if we've been knowing each other for a while, we've been kicking it or whatever, why are you trying to make it seem like I'm treating you like a sex work client by naming that, there's a lot of content that's not being shared, and that hurts my feelings. Again, if I was a white lady, I really don't think, and see, I don't want to do that, but I'll say that, like, there are times where I think that, like, me and another, like, mixed person are gonna, like, and I just have to hold that, like, at this point in the game, it's a lot of mixed people that, again, flattening their identity. And so they're going to see me as different, which is awkward because it's like, bitch, we are very the same. But again, I think also, like, them having, I don't even know. And, like, it's the way that, like, when I was telling one of my friends, like, one of my black friends from the South about this person, and they looked at their picture, they're like, their mom is probably not black. And I was like, bitch, I don't even want to go there. Like, I don't even want to go there. Cause it's like, it's the way that it's like, bitch, you look like La Cienega Boulevardes, and you're really like, sweetie. I swear to God, this bitch look like La Cienega Boulevardes, and is trying to ride their black mama to where that the winner, the finish line of the combo. I don't get it. I'm glad I don't live there, bitch. I don't understand any of this. So. But like I said, I asked that person not to come back here. I had to hide them off the channel because they kept on leaving comments. Again, trying to make it seem like I have a pattern of behavior. The pattern of behavior I have is realizing that, I could have done something different. Sure. But I didn't. I didn't. In the moment, I decided, like, I actually don't want you around me. Who knows? Maybe they'll apologize. Who knows? Like, we don't know. I'm not saying I'm not open to apology. I'm just saying, like, I feel like some people don't know what it's like to be crowdfunding for years and have people watch you for years and act like they can't be bothered to share, or worse, act like there's a time limit on that. Like, oh, I've done enough. And it's like, how do you think so? Like, how could you ever think you've done enough? Like, uplift people's fucking flyers or get the fuck away from me. Like, that's how I really feel. If you really don't think mutual aid is necessary or matters, don't engage with me. Like, leave me alone, please. Because, again, I don't want it to be a year from now, motherfuckers want to run up on me because they know I share flyers, but where were y'all? Like, again, it's the ways that, like, people are popping up on me being like, I know you share flyers. And it's like, why do you know that? Because you've been seeing them and you ain't been sharing them, right? And, again, we're going to have that conversation because now you need me, right? Word, I need you too. I'm not even trying to go backwards. I need you right now. Let's go. Again, I don't want to make it seem like anyone owed me a share. Don't feel like that. I feel like this person in particular operating like, oh, it's going to really fuck up my heart. It's going to fuck up my mental health. Like, babe, just say I don't care about mutual aid. That would have been easier. Some people don't care yet. Some people really are still getting their paycheck. Some people getting their paycheck. Again, I'm never going to make it seem like I know every fucking thing. I certainly don't. I've made a lot of fucking mistakes along the way, and I talk about them because, again, there's going to be moments where people, again, look at my life, look at my story, and try to figure out what was going on. Bitch, I don't know either. I don't know either. At this point, I feel like I'm the star of a true crime series where, again, who knows, like, what living on the fringes of society will do to you. Who knows what, like, being undocumented but being an American citizen will do to you. Like, a lot of things have happened here, and I've talked about it. And again, I'm not talking about it so you gather things against me and try to treat me like shit when you don't agree with me. But what's more important to me is that people don't use blackness to invoke that they know how all black people are, or also make it seem as if, the conversation of erasure is not necessary. If you don't care, please leave me alone. If you don't care, please go. Like, I'm tired of people making it seem like I'm a light-skinned apologist or some shit like that, or I'm making light-skinned apologia content. No, I'm not. I'm trying to detail the very real reality of erasure happening and the ways that I participated in it myself. I'm absolutely not trying to make it seem like I'm a good person or I'm a great person or you should follow me. I don't be saying like, comment, subscribe. That's not the energy here. The energy is you're at a bog witch's cabin. That's why sometimes you come here and you feel a little fucked up. Cause you in my cabin, bitch. We fucked up over here a little bit. Again, being able to be on the internet means that you're able to take a look. You're able to peek through a window. That's all I'm offering you is a window. Some of y'all might not like what you see in here. That's okay. That's okay with me. It wasn't always though. I used to dress up and try to perform. Some of y'all remember that. I'm not doing that no more. Now I'm going to give you whatever I got. And if you don't like it, that's fine. I'm not going to take it too personally. Because I'm sure some of y'all got some stories that people would not want to hear, but they still need to be told. And so after I read my birth chart, and again, I'm going to talk about it again, because my birth chart literally told me, like, you're going to say things that are going to make people angry as fuck. Like, my birth chart literally told me, like, be careful. My birth chart literally told me, low key, don't smoke too much weed because you might need to run. Like, my birth chart literally told me, like, you're going to say things that'll mean that you need to carry a gun, a knife, a hard hat, some protection, because people are not going to want to hear what you have to fucking say. My Mercury is in Capricorn 24 degrees, bitch. Capricorn 24 degrees. Look it up if you want to. That's where my voice is coming from. My rising, Taurus 4 degrees. Look at what that shit says. It's like, if you've been watching me for a while, it literally describes me to a fucking T. Someone communicating in two different modes at the same time, going from the subjective to the objective. It is wild, but again, not everybody has the time to look into their birth chart. If you care, send me your birth chart. I'll be annoying. Like, if you really want someone to be annoying about your birth chart, hit me up. I had a couple people hit me up recently, and it was really cute because we found out that we were both ninth housers. If you're a ninth houser, just know, like, if you have a lot of planets in your ninth house or your rising sign is in the ninth house, you're not an alien. You're not crazy. Your spirits are talking to you. There are people talking to you. There are ancestors talking to you. You're not crazy. I promise you. There's things that are being downloaded to you, and it's a beautiful thing. I actually read that people in the ninth house, if the society you're born in really checks birth charts like that, because apparently this is a thing. If they see your birth chart as a child and notice that you have a ninth house dominance, they will give you to the church. Isn't that crazy to think that, like, people with ninth house placements, like, it said that, like, we're not going to be comfortable living a regular life. Like, we're never going to be comfortable waking up, going to work, going to school. Like, we're never going to enjoy that. We literally are so mentally and so spiritually in tune that there's so many things that we can see that others can't, that it makes it very hard for us to do the regular busy work. Pluto in the ninth house. Okay. So you know about reincarnation. You know that there's many ways to die and many ways to live. Oh, Golden, I appreciate you for telling me that you found me on a mixed race channel. If you know any more information, please tell me, because I literally don't know shit about being featured there. I know somebody made a TikTok video about, like, people from, like, the early 2000s on YouTube, and they put my video in there, and it was so cute. And then why the fuck did somebody find a video of me talking about this man buying me a cotton candy machine? If you remember this conversation, just go. But basically, when I was doing sex work, I was just coming up with things to tell men to buy me just to see. And I told this man, I was like, I need a cotton candy machine to link up with you. He's like, I'll buy you 2 cotton candy machines. I said, do you think I'm a dumb bitch? I said, most motherfuckers don't want to buy 1 cotton candy machine. Why the fuck are you going to buy me 2? Like, I literally was like so annoyed. I was so disturbed. I was like, how dare you? Like, I know you're not buying me 2 cotton candy machines. But anyways, why the fuck they put that up there on TikTok? I was like, bitch. But the comment section was funny as hell. People were like, where is she? I'm like, not you trying to find me off this. That shit had me screaming. I literally couldn't breathe. I was like, wow. Like, the internet really is forever. Because I didn't think, when I was talking about them cotton candy machines, I couldn't see the future. You know what I mean? I couldn't see a TikTok video where somebody, like, and they're literally using that video talking about something, trying to find her. I'm sorry, bitch. It's just funny to me, like, what content people remember, and they're like, This cotton candy machine, ho. I'm sorry, I'm screaming. They were implying I hated my white side. I mean, my white passing mom is demonic, but if I'm being candid with you, like, it took a while, like, until I started listening to deep dark skin people, I didn't realize how anti-black my grandma was. And again, this is trigger warning for anyone who was the brown skin or darker skin grandchild, and you had lighter skin cousins and family members. Like, I did not realize like how bad like my family treated my brother. And I think about the ways that like out of the three of us, he's the only one that has like a normal life. And I think about, there was this black man who was talking recently on this podcast that I really loved. That made me so sad because the podcast was trying to clearly like find somebody black to speak against equity. So sad. But this black man was talking and he was making all these awful points. And then at some point he was like, I was raised in a place where I went to a school. Like, he was like old enough to be raised in a schoolhouse or some shit. And he was basically saying he had a white teacher that was very abusive. And he was talking about her in this way that let me know like she really got into his body, like into his heart, into his mind. Cause he was trying to like literally tell people like, I'm doing well because of her. Like, he was trying to like make it seem like this white woman abused me into being better. And it was like, I could actually see in retro the ways that like my white granny and just the ways that like they treated my brother who was browner skin like he had like a mental issue, like he was unwell, like, and again because of that he deserves to be beaten, like he was wild. And again, the ways that like when you're a brown skinned boy versus a light skinned mixed girl child, like they definitely were treating me much differently. And I was not necessarily better than my brother in terms of behavior at all. I think it was more that I did more things to perform than my brother did. My brother was very antisocial. And again, I think about the ways that like when people bring home the light skinned mixed baby, how everybody got the baby ain't never home. Like, again, like when I hear my childhood or about my mom telling stories, it's like, damn bitch, like you really just let me go anywhere. You just let anybody take me. You just let me, like, it's the way that I have it's the way before I was in foster care, bitch. I thought I was already in foster care. Like, when I really think about my life, it's like my mom never really had me. And this is slightly unrelated to everything, but me and my mom talked like 2 days ago because I'm trying to get my birth certificate still, bitch. Like, she said she was going to talk to my brother. My brother said he was going to do it, but he ain't did it. And I'm over here being like, it's all good. No time frame. Thank you. You know what I mean? Humble. Free birth certificate. You know what I mean? Like, again, some of y'all won't understand, but basically me and my mom are talking and I'm keeping it cute as fuck. And again, just like that video I posted of talking with her, it's like, as long as I don't say certain things, we're going to be okay. But again, the landmines in this conversation, like there was a moment where she was like, oh, my granddaughter, she loved my brother's daughter so much. And like the way she talks about her, it's like the only way that I can, like, it's the only time I really hear a smile in her voice, you know? And so I try to just, let her have it. You know what I mean? She wasn't a good mom. Maybe she's gonna be a good granny. You know what I mean? Who knows? Anyways, so with that being said, she was over here talking about her granddaughter. She kept being like, my granddaughter, telling me all these little stories that a grandmother would tell. And at some point, I'm keeping it cute as fuck. I'm like, that's a beautiful memory. I'm so glad y'all are making those memories because again, I'm birth certificate. On the fucking prize, bitch. But at some point she was like, the other day I told my coworker I really want to have a baby. And my coworker looked at me and was like, Tammy, you're like 70 years old. You do not want to have a baby. And my mom was like, oh, I don't want to give birth to a baby, but I want someone to give me a baby. My mom is telling me this story. Listen, Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony, I'm getting them all. I'm getting every award, bitch. Because all I said was, aw. That's all I said, bitch. You'll be so proud of me, bitch. I was like, aw. But she's like, oh, she's like, I just want a little baby to play with. She's like, I just love babies so much. They're just, before. And then she trails off when she says before, because it's obvious. Like at some point, I sat up and looked at the bitch and was like, why are you smoking cigarettes inside the house? Again, as a naturally curious person, I know why my mom don't like me, because I ask questions that will lead her to realize that I'm sentient as fuck and not just a little patty cake. Like again, when my mom, like bitch, and this is mess. Now I'm going into mess. When my mom found out that her man of like 8 years had a side baby on her, she had the baby in her bed, bitch. And I remember coming home from school and looking at my mama in the bed with this baby. And I was like, who is this? I was like, whose baby is this? Like, I was like, again, I asked too many questions. That bitch was never gonna like me. And so I'm like, whose baby is this? And she's like, don't ask no crazy question like that. And I was like, okay. And so she's like, her name is Courtney. Like, she over here trying to introduce me to a side baby, bitch. Like, that's about to be my sister. Bitch, I swear my mom was playing with the side baby, like in that, like doing childcare with a newborn, sweets, a newborn. Swear to God, newborn, bitch. Not even one. And I'm just so confused. And I'm trying to be cute or whatever, but my mom and this man ain't been good. They've been bad for a while. So it's the fact, I'm just like, whoa. So it's like, I already know my mom loves babies. She loves babies so much, she'll play a fool in her own house. Again, it's the way my mom was feeding that baby, caring for that baby. And again, you think she smoked a cigarette outside? No. She smoked a cigarette in her room with the baby laying down. Like, again, my mom don't really care about nothing. But, that man didn't care neither. He just wanted a bitch to watch the baby. But again, some of us know what it's like to be raised by tweet. Some of us know what it's like to be raised by, like that lady who is being disrespected and she don't care. And like, now you don't care. Like, I think a lot of us know what that's like to have a woman around us show us how not to behave. And I think that's, again, why me and my mom don't get along. Do I consider my mom my white side? Not necessarily, because, again, my granny is white for sure. My mom is a wayward exotical. And I feel more comfortable just saying that, because exotical doesn't have a race on it. Exotic, like white passing, it's been co-opted. It's been tainted, bitch. It's tainted meat. So let's just call motherfuckers exoticals and just go. Cause who knows who we're talking about? Like, I feel like you say exotical, you could be talking about a lot of different people, right? That's the thing, though. I don't know that though. That's the thing. Who knows if the baby mom really knew? Like, I feel like that's the thing. But then again, bitch, I've talked to some baby mothers who didn't care. They was like, okay, I got your phone number. I'll call you if I need to talk to my baby. Like, I've definitely been in a situation like that before. And again, what can you do about that? So like I said, my mom on the phone talking about I just love my granddaughter reminds me of all 3 of my kids. I kept it so cute, bitch. Again, this bitch really thought I was cool. I was trying my best. But again, as a kid, I asked way too many questions. And my mom is an Aquarius sun with a Capricorn stellium, but I don't know where her stellium is. I really wonder, because she's Aqua in the first house, I think. I could be wrong. I don't know where her rising is. Like, I really want to do my mom's birth chart when I get my birth certificate bad as hell. Just so I can, just so I can see where she's coming from, because we both have Capricorn stelliums, meaning we're going to always figure it out. We're going to always find a way. But I have way more curiosity than her, and she's way more intuitive. She just be doing shit. And that's weird as fuck that anybody's cosplaying as mixed. And see, you're saying the exotical channels are mostly black women. I disagree. No shade. Like, I would not, like, hear me out. Do I think for sure that there's no black folks, like, maybe having a little fun Or there's no black folks having fun? Sure, probably. But the way these channels communicate, again, as a mixed person who's been studying my people, like, we really have a way of communicating about our superiority, which is fake. Nobody is truly superior to anybody, but if you tell people they are, they can run with that lie. And so that's what I see about the Exotical channel, like them running with a lie, because it makes them feel comfortable. That's the thing. It's like, that's another layer to this. It's like, as black folks continue to center themselves and decenter whiteness, there will be mixed people who don't know how to handle that. There will be, because a lot of us have been centered as the good black people. The conversation has absolutely shifted beyond like someone lighter skin being automatically good. Some of us are losing our mind. I've seen it in myself as well. I'm sure somebody thinks I'm crazy. That's fine. But it's the kind of chaos and confusion that can make you unwell mentally, in my humblest opinion. Golden Goddess, oh word. Yeah, no, I'm not sure genuinely like how long you've been here, but I'm glad that you popped up. Right, cool beans, cool beans, cool beans, cool beans. Not Joyce, everybody got the baby. You're funny as hell. Yo, I miss playing Sims. I really do. I really want to get back on it, but my computer's slow as shit. I'm not trying to be my sim on a bike struggling. That's going to be tragic. I don't want none of that. Cut the cameras. Please cut the cameras. I'm trying to think about what even happened recently so we can talk about a little bit of current events, because bitch, like I said, I literally came here just to explain, like, I don't want to kick anybody out the chat. I don't want to fight with anyone with in the chat. But again, if you're going to invoke blackness to be on some bullshit, please just leave, because I don't want to be trying to be gracious in a moment when like you're saying something so awful, and again, utilizing blackness, weaponizing blackness to perpetuate like harm against black people. Some people will not see it. Some people won't see it like that. And it's unfortunate, because again, it happens every fucking day. Not just mixed people do this. There are some moments where there are going to be black people who use their blackness to say something that the colonizer already said. And again, the ways that I was just telling that story, like there was a black man talking about how equity is bad, how DEI is trying to correct God. He literally said that. He was like, oh, we can't correct what God has chosen. He really tried to make it seem like white supremacy is some innate reality. And again, I'm just like, yuck, you know, but I'm also aware enough to know that he's unwell because of the system. I don't believe that any black person truly believes that. I think that he believes that for the right amount of money. I believe that if he's able to get on a certain platform and say these things, they're paying him well. I don't think that's a cheap gig. Absolutely, Mr. Peterson. Absolutely. And again, it's the way that like he took a long time to get to the point where he said a white woman abused me in an education setting, and it never left. I never exercised that out of my body. In fact, I've let it take over my life, and I've let it tell me to tell other people, especially companies in the company of white people, you know, this is bad. Like, don't help anyone outside of ... because DEI is just trying to correct the cosmos. And it was like, not the cosmos, bitch. Whoa. But again, I don't want to make it seem like black folk can't be on some bullshit. It happens to the best of us. Colonized behavior is the issue. I wish we would get to that point in conversation, that it's not about people acting white. Whiteness is colonized behavior. Whiteness isn't about how people look. I've shared before. I've been white before. I may be white again. I hope someone loves me enough to tap me and say, hey, it's giving Caucasian, it's giving white, it's giving colonized. Like, I really hope that happens. But again, if it doesn't, that's not anyone's failure but mine, you know? And again, with that being said, like the ways that like when you're in community with people who are causing harm or operating a particular way, it's on you. Like, if you see your friend acting a fool, like, it's on you. Like, you're the one that's gonna say it the nicest. And again, it's the ways that I think about that aspect of things that, like, when I'm talking to people that I care about, I try to say it in a way to where they know, like, I don't want you. I don't want to like hurt you with this. Like, I'm not trying to hurt you with information. I'm trying to liberate and share something that may free you from believing in a certain way, or holding on to a belief system that is hurting you and you just don't see it yet, but maybe I can. Again, I try to consider that, like, there's going to be moments where someone can help you and you might not think so, where someone can actually do something to shift your behavior and you just might not be there yet. And again, I am learning every day that, like, there's, like, people have to be ready to receive. Like, I know what it's like to not be ready to receive. I know what it's like to be feeling like I'm gonna just keep giving. I'm gonna keep on being ready to give. And so having to sit with, people have something to share with me, and that I have to practice what it feels like to receive, so that I can again normalize that feeling in my body, because sometimes it doesn't feel good to take things. Like, it doesn't feel good to be someone that receives. Sometimes when I receive things, it's hard for me to keep them. It's hard for me to not want to just give them away, because I think about the ways, like there's times where I'm like, I have food, I have a house, like, how can I share this? How can I pass this along? And so I'm trying to remember, like, it's okay to save some of that. It's okay to, keep some of that. But again, in survival mode, not thinking you're going to ever, like, get old. Like, I don't know what people think, like, when you're in foster care, when you're passed around by the state, like, when you get into your 20s, you're just like, I hope I get to stay alive long enough to do fun things and to, like, feel good. But you're not even thinking about 401k. Like, that's not on your mind. You're like, I'm liberated from a religious, narcissistic, male-centered household. Like, again, there was a tweet that just came up. I'm going to read it. Someone said, and the tweet person, their name is Sophia, they wrote, "It's crazy how most people use their 20s to build a career. But if you grew up in chaos, you basically spend those years just trying to survive the aftermath of your upbringing. It's like you're not even at the starting line yet because you're repairing the track." And that really hit, because, like, I really feel like my 20s, I was just having fun. Because, like, bitch, I was in kid jail. Like, I was basically in jail, like, as a kid. Like, once the state has you, they're getting you ready to be in jail. Like, people don't talk about that, but they teach you how to be in jail, how to live in a communal setting that's set up like a jail. They teach you how to live in an institution when you're in foster care, and people don't realize that. And then when you get out, of course, you're going to do a lot of risky shit. You were in jail. Again, I don't expect everyone to understand why the fuck I do what I do. I don't always know, but I do think about the ways that, like, things have happened that let me know that I'm supposed to share, and I'm supposed to say sorry, and I'm supposed to amend my thoughts. I'm supposed to have more thoughts. I'm supposed to, turn around and have a different perspective. I believe all of those things are true. I believe I will think something wrong again. I'm keeping my heart open to shifting and transitioning again. Again, I don't feel hit by people's critiques of me, but please don't try to use the fact that I've been candid with you about falling out with people to make it seem like there's a pattern of behavior. If anything, I think now my pattern is that I'm starting to really listen to what people have to offer. And if it's nothing, I'm getting away. In the past, I've sat around and stayed longer than I needed to prove I was good, to prove I really loved someone. I don't think people realize what you do when you make it seem like femmes can't maintain relationships with people that they're explaining are hurting them. Just please, in the future, I hope y'all listen to the whole story that someone tells you before you decide, like, oh, this sounds like something in the past that, like, you're wrong. It's like, okay, like, again, if that's where you're gonna go with it, please leave me out of it, because again, I know that shifting your behavior does not happen overnight. It doesn't happen in a week, a month, a year. And you might think that things have changed, and hey, maybe they haven't. Maybe it's just been a long time since you've had conflict. Yikes. Maybe it's just a long time since you've had conflict. What up, Big Bark? It's been a minute, bitch. I hope you're doing well. But maybe it's just a moment, to reconnect, to decide whether or not you want to fuck with this person. Like, I just think that there's so many things happening. But when I came here to talk about Anthony, my energy was just like, please stay away from me. Don't build connections with me if you don't care about mutual aid. Because again, I don't think that anyone is going to make it on their own. And if you do, if you believe in bootstraps, if you believe in taking care of everything on your own, like, we're not going to be friends, because I know that that's not real. I know that that's part of colonizing. The colonizer believes they do everything on their own because they ignore the labor of others. I don't want to do that. And again, it's okay if people think I'm super idealistic, they think that I'm being dramatic, whatever the case may be. I'm okay with that. I used to really care about what people thought about me, but I'm at a point now where I realize what I think about me is going to be the thing that matters. When I wake up, I have to deal with my own thoughts. And so I'm going to just remember that in all the conflicts. It's like, how am I feeling about myself? Because a lot of times I'm having conflict with people that I don't know, and their anger or stress for me, and then them trying to like go back into my into video, like that's the other wild thing. It's like, I'm not sitting there watching hours of your life, but the idea that like people are in a pattern, when again, I think I'm just letting people go. I'm not pushing, I'm not fighting for connection. If they don't believe it's worth it to deepen our connection or deepen our intimacy with conflict, that's okay. I don't want to keep fighting with people when there's no real fight to have. I'm finally at that point where I realize like some people are not ready to have a deeper connection with you. They're not. And shit, maybe they're not having a deeper connection with themselves. Maybe it's really scary. I know what that's like, to be scared of connection with people, to be like, damn, I want to get closer, but do I even have it? I've felt that most of my relationship with Dane, like, I feel like they know how to survive and take care of themselves in a way that like fascinates me. It's like, I'm never going to say that I don't do anything to show up for them, but like, they don't need me. And I feel like I've dated people that have not needed me. And like, it's something that, again, like, it's caused a lot of stress in my mind about, what I can do to be worthy or meaningful. And I feel like, again, I'm trying to extend empathy to the reality that other people may feel that as well, may feel in ways like, what can I do to prove that I'm really here? I'm really showing up. And again, if we don't have conversations around expectations, desires, how could we know? It's very easy to feel like a connection is so amazing that you don't want to mess it up, but that anxiety, like, we should be able to talk about it with each other, but some of us don't. Like, that could have been what was happening with Anthony. Maybe they felt like, damn, like, I'm not worth, like, I don't even know what. Because again, it's like, I'm never trying to make it seem like everyone needs to do what I do. But I also think about the ways that, like, after knowing that I needed a share, knowing that multiple people needed a share, and I'm not trying to put everybody's business out there, but I have a friend right now who is living in their car and their car's broken, meaning that they're stuck somewhere, and that's where their house is. Like, they live in their car and it's broken down, meaning that like their shit could get stolen, they could get hurt. There's so many layers, and I'm trying to uplift their situation. And again, this person isn't even taking into account, like, you're gloating about being housed for since 2019 when like someone just asked you to uplift a flyer, dude. Like, that's where you went. Like, again, it's like, I don't know how anyone hears that someone's texting me about how they're getting paid every Friday, and they're doing good, and like, I don't know how anyone could hear that someone's like trying to like tease me for being poor. Like, it was crazy. Like, I literally even said, I was like, you realize, like, I don't have, like, they were like, you need to fill out a job application. I was like, I did, and I actually got the job, I just didn't have the paperwork to keep it. And they were like, you have a social, you're not undocumented. And it's like, I am, but it's fine. Like, it's clear, like, you don't care what's happening to me. I get it. That's why I got away from you. Again, people be really wanting you to keep on enduring abuse, and it's like, no, thank you. But again, let you say no, thank you to somebody who thinks like, oh, I've done so much for you. Like, it's like, have you? Okay. I was like, and I thanked you every time, didn't I? So now what? Now I owe you connection to me because of past things. Like, I wish I felt that. I wish I felt that motherfucking bold to be like, well, I've been helping you. Why don't you help me out? Like, I wish I would have. But nope. I was just like, all right, girl. Anyways, like I said, please do not try to tell me that I have not shifted my behavior or I'm not in a more open space. Everyone can be hostile, anyone can be feeling hit or hurt by things. That is not that anything that makes anyone bad. But again, y'all have the privilege of hearing my candid thoughts about conflicts, and maybe they'll help you, maybe they won't. But I need people to know having a conflict, having an issue, being hurt by something, that is not a problem. The problem comes when the stakes get lower, the standards get lowered in communication because you or they really don't give a fuck about what happens next. It's very clear sometimes when you look back, like, were we really fighting, or were you trying to tell me like you don't give a fuck about me anymore? And this was the perfect moment for you to like discard me or get rid of me. Again, I'm not saying that's what was happening, but I'm trying to name that, like, if I feel safe to talk to you about a flyer, about lack of support or care, you know, that's gonna be moving forward something that I again reconsider, and then also check in about capacity, because again, I don't think I was perfect in this. I don't think that I had nothing to learn from this. Definitely don't feel that way. But again, some people will try to punish you when you've already acknowledged, like, I'm hurting. And I don't understand the point of that. But again, as someone who's vulnerable and curious, I'm aware that people are going to hurt my feelings a lot. That people are going to, like, go out of their way sometimes because they think I want to know everything that they're thinking. And it's like, no, I don't need to know every fucking thing, but I want to know some things. I want to be aware of some things. And again, even trying to get information from people. Like, I asked somebody, there was somebody who had like a bunch of like their mixed ancestry. Like, it was like, I'm black, native, and I was like, hey, can we have a conversation about mixed ancestry? And they blocked me. And I was like, whoa. And again, I have to hold that, like, there are some people that think I'm trying to take people's blackness away. That shit is weird as hell. Like, I'm not even gonna do too much. I'm just gonna say, like, if you identify as a black and person, I'm not sure the issue with calling yourself a whole mixed person at this point, because you already have, like, you've already posted all your mixes, you know what I mean? But again, like, there are some people who feel like, and I've heard this before, like, oh, blackness is at the front of my identity, which is fascinating. It's fascinating to think about, because again, it's the ways that, like, again, like who knows what someone sees. I think about that a lot. I think about how sometimes people look at me and they think they see something, a friend. They think they see someone they can trust. And I think about the layers of that. I think about how sometimes people see white people and they think that same thing. I think about people of color who think that white people are the good people, And I think about brown people who think light-skinned people are the good people. A lot of distorted views of people based on money that has been pushed into our visibility. And before I dip out, I'm gonna post a link in the comment to this movie called Feast of All Saints. It's based on a book that was written by Anne Rice. Apparently, when Anne Rice went to go do interview with a vampire, she gathered so much information from Louisiana that she became very fascinated with a society of mixed people called Gens de Colères. If you're not informed about this, I just want you to look up quadroon balls before you watch this movie. Just to give you a little primer. Yes, white men. Oh, what up, Malcolm? White men used to go to Louisiana to find octoroons, quadroons, women that were not black, not white, and have a second family. Like, it was called passage, and it's basically where, like, white men from England, all over the world, would come to Louisiana to find a woman that was not black, not white. They would come to find mixed women, and a lot of times, like, or rather, in this experience, like, these women would have like these it reminded me of harlots. For anyone that hasn't gotten into harlots yet, I'm gonna also put the link to the free. I know everyone not doing Hulu no more, not paying for these things. I hear you. YouTube got a lot of free stuff on here. You just gotta look. But I'm gonna put the first season of Harlots down here. But it reminded me of harlots, like how, like, you know, depending on how beautiful and pure you were, meaning you haven't had sex yet, they could sell you basically. Like, and a lot of times it would be your mom who would be the pimp. Your mother would be the woman that's making these arrangements for you to go with this white man. And it was 9 times out of 10 a white man who was in this society attempting to find a woman who was exotic. And again, the ways in the movie that the woman, as soon as she has her mixed baby with this white man, she's like, at 18, he's going to France. Like, her energy was like, France is not like America. He gonna have a better life than any black man of color in this country. He's going to somewhere else so that he can have a better life. And she was even saying for herself, like, Paris is different. Like, it's a different place. And the ways that people would like romanticize Paris as if it was a place where, like, oh, you know, we're gonna have a better life. And again, the ways that only mixed people thought that. Yo, cranberry, listen, I think, unfortunately for me, I think because I'm fat and not withering, like, people, like, again, like, bitch, it's the ways that, like, I've been, like, housing insecure for how long? How many times have I been kicked out my house? How many times have I met a man and, you know, we were making it work and then we're not? Like, how many times? Like, a lot. And so, again, it's like, I think some people think, like, I'll figure it out. And, like, probably. Like, I'm at a point where it's like, I'm a roach, you know? I'm at a point where I realize I'm a roach. Like, they can't stomp me, bitch. They don't got the angle on the shoe, bitch. The feet them. They don't got the motherfucking angle on that shoe. They don't got no roach stomper. Exactly. But again, I think that some people do not realize, like, my spirit, my energy is just, you know, just aware that, like, I don't know where I'm going to get the support from, but I know it's out there because, again, sometimes we forget that, like, everyone's not struggling. Like, I feel like we forget that, especially the more we're struggling, like, the more we just, again, don't have people that reaffirm that it's okay to ask for help. Like, there's so many layers to how we get here. So I don't want to shame anyone for not realizing, like, people, not everyone's down bad. Some people can be showing up as more supportive, but at the same time, it's like I'm not fighting with nobody. If people don't realize what time it is out here for many of us, then I can't really do any more than keep sharing what I've been sharing. Like, I've been trying to share as much as possible because some people still think like there's more than 2 classes. No, there's people that are billionaires and there's everyone else. And it sucks that people don't realize that no matter how good you're doing right now, you can always get sick. Your mom could get sick, your granny could get sick, and who can go take care of them? The siblings might decide you live the closest, and next thing you know, your life changed again, didn't it? Like, even talking to my mom had me dead because she's like, you know, my sister asked me if I was gonna fight her for the house, and I'm just laughing because my mom lived in a trailer with snakes in it, and my auntie lived in a house with my grandpa and has been caring for him clearly to secure her future. And it's the ways that she was so worried about my mom making her homeless. Meanwhile, my mom, between me and you, should have fought the bitch for the house. Why not? Like, at least fight to liquidate the shit at the end. But my mom is like, oh, it's Poppy's stuff. That's his stuff. It feels weird to be talking about his stuff. I'm like, girl, child. And it's the way my mom talking like, bitch, what the fuck you leaving me, ho? A snake, a can of snakes. It's just funny because I already know my mom is gonna go live with my brother if anything goes left. I already know the way they've been rocking together. I already know. Like, she not thinking about it, but she over here talking about some, oh, you know, I don't got no rights and da-da-da. And I'm like, girl, you're the other sibling that lives down there. But in retrospect, I just think my mom is down there to be near my grandpa. I think she thinks one day I'm going to be like her and miss the fuck out of her. And it's like, I'm never going to be like you. Like, she don't realize it. And it's nothing disrespectful. I don't want to be like her. I don't want to pretend at the last quarter of my life like I care about my family. Mm-mm. Nope, I'm gonna keep my roach ass with my roach collective. You feel me? I'm gonna stay with the people that, again, know that we're not going to space. They know that this is the only Earth we have. They know that we have to share. I'm gonna be around people like that. I don't want to be around people that are trying to tell me that they don't care what happens to our family member's house. Like, again, it's the ways that, it's the way I talk to my mom and she's like, oh, all the cousins came down. I'm like, I bet they did. It's the way that the only person that's not white in my family that can travel to visit anybody is my brother. He's the only one. Everyone else that goes to visit is the white cousins. And it makes me laugh how, like, all the white cousins in my family, they all have the same life. All married, all have houses, all have cars, can do whatever the fuck they want. And my mom got the nerve to tell me that she's not gonna fight for a house that would, again, be a place that I could at least go sometimes to at least visit some of my family. She don't care about that. She do not care. She's not thinking about herself, her family. She's not thinking about that. She's thinking about how she don't want to fight with her sister. So what? She can sit up in her father's house and drink a cup of coffee every now and then. It's like she's not thinking about anything but herself. And again, I already know she's gonna go live with my brother. She's not gonna live with my youngest brother because my youngest brother don't fuck with her or me or anybody, which I understand. He was the youngest. He got the littlest bit of a life, and he's been in the state's care and in the care, not even just the state, just all types of shit. So she knows she can't really call on me, bitch, because I'm gonna be asking her questions every step of the fucking way. But my brother, oh, he feel bad for her. Like, it's the way I told my brother. I was like, I don't really trust her around your daughter, and that's low key why me and my brother fell out recently. It's because I was like, I don't really trust her around your baby. Hell no. Because that's the auntie that took me in first, and she decided that I was too rowdy. And so she gave me to a bitch that literally my mom went to court to get me back from. Because, bitch, I feel like I told this story before, but like my mom told me that this woman came to her who was apparently her friend, but I don't think they was really friends. But the woman told my mom, you know, Tammy, you already got 2 kids. You should give me that last one. And my mom looked at her kind of crazy and then was like, you know what? I'm going to give you my daughter, which is even crazier than what the bitch even said. But again, that's how my mom is. The woman going basically ask my mom with a newborn baby, you know, you probably can't take care of all 3. You should just give me your new baby. And so my mom was like, no, just take my daughter. And so I went to go live with this lady 2 different times. The second time, my mom had to go to court to get me back from her because she was being abusive towards me. And I had told her, and my mom was like trying to do something about it. But I'll never forget, like, my mom coming to my school with like a bunch of fucking DCF people to come take me out because they were rescuing me. So, PS on that. Like, my mom done gave me away to a bitch. The bitch was being abusive towards me, kept me locked up in the house like a damn dog, like, only finally put me in school at some point. And again, it's the way I live. It's actually, you know, it's even wilder. I lived with that lady 3 times. I lived with her as a little baby. I lived with her another time when I was a little bit older. And then I went to live with her again when I was like 13 years old after my aunt gave me to her. And it was awkward because the way she treated me was so shitty. Like, she literally was like jealous of me and I didn't realize it. And she was jealous of me and her husband's connection. And again, I'm 13, bitch. And so I'm literally trying to just get loved, get a family. And her husband was operating like, oh, like, you know, you could really be doing sports. Like, it's the way that her husband saw me as like potentially a sports star, which is funny as hell in retrospect because, bitch, I don't like to exercise. But he was like, you're tall. Like, oh my God, my whole childhood, people kept being like, you're tall. You could play basketball. And so one year I tried, and bitch, this is the funniest thing. I remember, like, this is gonna sound how it sounds, but they still let me on the team. But I was trying to fucking, I was doing the little, you know, the warm up, and then we was running around, and I just left, and bitches, like, somebody screamed. But they had us running around the fucking gym, and I just remember just at some point I just like pushed the door open to leave. Like, keep in mind, we running around the gym like trying to try out for basketball. And in the middle of me running, I'm like, this is not realistic. And I just bust out the door and like left. Somebody behind me screamed. And I was just dying laughing because I'm just like, bitch, like, I'm not her. Somehow they still let me on the team. I don't even know how I got it. Like, I was like, I remember like walking past the thing and it was like, I was like, how the fuck did I get it? Like, I guess they decided I ran enough. But here's the thing that's even more fucked up. I feel like I only got it because they needed somebody else to be on the bench. Like, lowest of keys. They needed someone, they needed another alternate. So I was riding the bench most of the time. And I remember one time they put me in the game and I'll never forget this. The coach, I literally got a free throw because somebody fouled me. Like that's another thing too, bitch. I'm a big goofy bitch on the court. Bitches would be running into me and I would get the foul. Like they'd be like, okay, it's time for you to go shoot. And I'm like, oh, this is cute. I'm like, bitches just running into me and I get the ball. Bitch is stupid. But anyways, I'm standing at the fucking free throw line trying to go hit my little point. This ugly bitch, the fucking coach, old, ugly, nasty white man, Hartford Public High bitch. If you see an old, nasty white man from like the early 2000s, that was him. He was like, miss. He gonna say miss, bitch, at a game. I'm at the free throw line. Bitch, and I made it and I looked at his ass. Cause bitch, I'm on the bench most of the time, bitch. I could get cunt. You're not gonna do nothing to me, bitch. You're not gonna start me, are you? You can't do shit to me, bitch. So anyways, I gave him an ugly ass look and I rode the bench for the rest of the shits. Again, I was never going to be a sports star. But at that moment, my angels was like, just throw it. We're gonna get it in there. I was never a sport girl. But yeah, this bitch tried to plot on me, tried to plot on my little 2-point. And again, it's the way that like I made friends with those people on the basketball team. The lady I'm talking to you about, her name is Miss Bianchi. I'm gonna just say her name because I never say her name, but I'm gonna say her name because that's really not her government. But she will tell me to call her Miss Bianchi. And yeah, babe, all the time, every day. And low key, bitch, I've been wanting to do tarot card readings, but I just been, So I feel like low key, we should pick a good day. Oh, Valentine's Day tarot card readings. I feel like that might be cute. That might be a fun time. If people are interested, there will be a post so that people don't forget it. And I'm gonna try to be on point. I know some of y'all are like, bitch, you got a man. Why you trying to do tarot card reading? Bitch, me and my man could get together on the night tip because bitch, his day off is on Saturday, so he gonna probably come home, take a nap so he can do something at night. So we're gonna do something during the day. But anyways, getting back to it. But Miss Bianchi, when I brought the girls from the basketball team home, she was being weird as fuck. And when they left, she's like, oh, she's like a gay demon spirit is in my house. Like she was really acting like, because some sporty girls was in the house. Like that's a problem. And again, it's the ways that like she was so jealous of me and her husband's connection. And her husband only liked me because I was tall and could play sports, maybe. It seemed like that. Also, her husband was a messy, messy man. Very messy. The kind of man that'll bring a coffee cup into his office and never take it out. And then it'll have mold on it. He was that kind of messy, like just very forgetful. And so at some point, Miss Bianchi would be cussing the dog shit out of him because she very clean. And so I remember me and him we had a little meeting. I don't know how it happened, but he basically was like, look, if you clean up my office, because his office was in the basement, he's like, if you clean up my office, I'll give you some money. And I was like, bet. So bitch, I think that's part of why she started to get insecure, because like, bitch, I'm literally running around trying to earn this money, bitch, because he a messy, nasty little man. You know what I mean? He really gross. No shade. Like he little gross. And so again, it's the way I see a coffee cup. I'm pouring it out. I'm not gonna clean it, but it's not gonna get moldy. It's not going to be fighting. You know what I mean? And so I think she's seen me doing support for him in ways, and she did not see the money transfer. She didn't know nothing about that. But I feel like she started to feel like they getting real close. And she started being weird. And one day she said to me, that's my husband. Out of nowhere, bitch. I'm a baby. I'm like 13, bitch. 13 about to be 14, bitch. Can you imagine a lady that you done lived with already 2 other times? Like I already remember her from being an abuser from earlier in my life. She playing like she a nice lady now. Now that I'm living with her as a 13, 14-year-old, she playing like she wasn't that lady that used to abuse me back when I was 7, 8 years old. So keep in mind, it's been 7, 8 years since I seen this bitch, and she got a man now. Every time I met her before, I never had a man. And I'm not trying to make fun of her for that. I'm just saying, like, she was always by herself trying to raise me. But she got married to this man who was like West Indian, and he had mad brothers, bitch, and like they all had like names from like Hindu gods. Like his name was Krishna. He had a brother named Vishnu. Like they had mad different names, right? And I had a crush on his brother's son, who was my fit cousin. And I actually seen him not that long ago on Facebook. And I said something. I was like, I just brought it up randomly. I was like, can I just ask you like what they said happened? And they were like, they just said that you went to go live with your mom again. Like he was like, when you disappeared, I did ask about you, but it just felt like I shouldn't be asking about you. And they were like, they made it seem like, you know, like you wanted to go home and do. And it was just funny because, again, like, I'm literally going to the grandmother's house or his mother's house. Like, I'm getting closer with the cousins, the uncles. Like, I'm in their family. But, again, it's just one day she just kicked me. Like, one day she just packed my shit. Like, it wasn't like we had a fight. Nothing. Like, one day I just came home and all my shit was taken. All my shit was packed up. And I remember that the night before, I had something to do the next day, so I had my clock. I had my alarm clock set up, and she took the alarm clock, and I was like, I need that. I was like, I have something really important happening tomorrow. I need to be at school on time. And oh, I got you, baby. I got you. Have a good night. Thank you. But like I said, I was able to, like, I didn't realize at the time that she was taking my alarm to pack my shit while I slept. So we got into a fight the night before I left because I was like, why are you touching my alarm clock? Next thing I know, I'm gone. Then I found out that they had a baby together, him and her, and they got a divorce. And it was sad because I think he actually has full custody. And again, it's the ways that, like, I don't know anything about mental health in terms of like diagnosis or no shit like that. I'm just saying that it seemed like she wanted a baby and was willing to do anything to get it. And she didn't really want me, which again is another part of my trauma history with living with people that don't really want me. They just want a baby. They just want a signifier of, see, I'm doing good now. I have a child. And I feel like some people used me as, again, an ornament. And I think about the ways that some people don't think about that aspect of being privileged or being like pedestalized because of either colorism or anti-blackness, probably both. The ways that like people will think like a lighter skinned child is like a prize. And again, the way I grew up thinking, the way I grew up hearing people say like mixed kids are so beautiful and mixed children are so beautiful, like it's the way I grew up hearing that, but I never heard or I never felt like that meant like we're more protected. I'm not saying that like there wasn't more protection for me in ways, because again, as I said, looking back at like how we were disciplined as children, like I definitely saw my brother get beat in a way that I never was. And I think about how like people would put hands on me, but they would barely touch my face. Like they would make sure to stay away from my face. Or just the ways that like people, when they're abusing certain folk, like they'll abuse you in a particular way. Whereas I saw my brother, who was browner skinned, get beat in ways that, again, I ain't never been through. And I'm not trying to make it seem like we were so different as children. Bitch, I set fires in my room. Bitch, I was doing wild shit too. But it's the way that like my mom categorized my brother's anger. Like I'll never forget, my brother was growing his hair out. And my mom started making it seem like every time you grow your hair out, you get disrespectful. And then to quote unquote humble him, she would cut his hair. And it's the ways that like, in retrospect, I really wonder like what that really was about, you know? Like, did she want him to hide his visible blackness or like the blackness that can't be tamed? Because again, I think about how my brother was constantly being corrected physically. That did not happen to me. Like, my mom would cuss me the fuck out, but she barely put hands on me. But it's the way people really felt comfortable putting their hands on my brown skinned brother. My white passing brother, bitch. It, and again, it's the ways that the worst ass whooping I ever seen him get is the one that got us all taken out the house. Like, when Tyler was handled in a particular way, it was like, that's enough. But again, it's the ways that, like, I'm calling the police. And again, at some point, like, my mom telling the police I'm playing on the phone. Like, that's what happened to me. Like, I kept calling them, telling them my mom's abusive. And it's the ways that I started to, like, I'm not going to play. At some point, I started to make up stuff because it's like, they don't care that we're getting beat. Like, so I started saying that, like, she had knives and that she was, I was making up stories like she was an evil witch, like she had a big pot, a cauldron. Like, I'm saying anything to get them to come because I've already told you she's beating on me. I've already told you she cut a cord off of an iron to beat us with. I've already told you that. You don't care. Or worse, she lied to you when you came to the door and then beat us again. So again, it's the ways that, like, I realized at a certain point, I ain't getting out of this shit. My brother, he ain't getting out of this shit. As I said, my littlest brother, who's white passing, went to the nurse and said his stomach hurt. As soon as they lifted that shirt and saw them belt marks, we all removed from the house. Again, I tell my story because I know many people don't know what it's like to, first of all, call the police on your family for years, to pack backpacks full of clothes and throw them out of windows and hope that you can climb out of it, but then get scared and then get beat because your clothes got rained on. Like, there were things that I did to survive that, again, I share with you because there are some people that know what that's like to live in a home that's fucked up, to hope for most of your childhood you could get away from these people, then getting away from them and realizing, oh shit, nurture versus nature, right? Like, I don't want to be like them, but they've taught me some things, haven't they? And again, even the ways that if you don't want to be like your family, the ways you'll do certain things to rebel that may not be in your best interest. Again, I share my story because I know I've done some things that I wouldn't do again. And I've done some things that I would actually do, I would have done sooner. And so I'm hoping that what you take from this is something that can be constructive. And if you have something to offer, I'm hoping the same. But to make it seem as if I've not learned anything or I've not taken new skills or that I'm gonna lose community that loves me by setting boundaries around care, I just don't believe that. I just don't believe that at all. And as I said before, and the last thing I think that's important to say, I told y'all before I was living with a white person, and I told the person that was living upstairs from me, you scaring me. I was like, you really creeping me out, kind of worrying me. And they were like, I'm white, so you're gonna always be scared of me. And when I told this story to somebody who's white, who I really trust, they said that's bullshit. They said their standards are on the fucking in the gutter. If they really hear you say that you're scared, and the only thing that they can think to respond instead of listen to hear, they're listening to respond, and they're gonna just decide to tell you that, oh well, I'm white, so you're gonna always be afraid. That's not true. I really want us to raise our standards. Like, if someone bothers to tell you you're scaring them, you're hurting them, I hope we listen to hear. I hope we listen beyond how hurt we feel about that reality. I hope we celebrate that person if we can get to there, to say, thank you for telling me the truth. Thank you for speaking up. Like, I'm proud of you. Like, think about that, because there's moments where people have come to me and told me something that, should have been a moment that I paused and listened to hear, and I didn't. So I'm really hoping that people know I don't think I know any fucking thing. I think I'm carrying a lot of information. And I think if we consider how history is shared with us, I think we realize that, like, history can be written, but it's alive as well. And so there's going to be things that you only learn because you're in the comment section, right? There's going to be something that somebody says in passing that inspires something. So I'm hoping people hold that, like, I'm sharing a part of my history here, not all of it. And you may not always get the other perspective, but I am trying to hold that, again, I do not know much. I know very little. So I'm trying to say, I think, I heard, I feel, I'm trying. But do I think that we're gonna always be cool? No. Do I think that, like, I owe people apologies? Sure do. And I do think that there could be moments of repair in the future, maybe depending on where we both are. Do I think that everything fucked up that happened means anything forever? No. I do think that things can be shifted. I do believe that we can all shift. I truly believe that. I believe that white supremacy can be dismantled. I truly believe that. But I also believe that there are some people who are more focused on their comfort in the moment than considering the discomfort may lead us to a new way of connecting, communicating. Like, what if you're not comfortable? What if that matters to me? What if we can talk about that lack of comfort? That's just where I'm at. Like, I'm just hoping, you know. No, Britt Overboard, when she told me that that was her husband with no other explanation, I'm not gonna lie, like, I didn't understand what she was saying. Like, I was like confused, and I was just kind of like, and again, like, it wasn't the type, like, I was 13, 14, so there wasn't any like the internet existed, sure. Not in the way, not in the way I needed it to. Like, if I would put this shit on Reddit, a lot of women would be able to say male identified, male centered, pick Misha. There's words that exist now, right? Like, I think we can all acknowledge, like, there's language we have for things that we really needed like 10 years ago, 20 years ago. And so I'm trying to hold that, like, some people just don't know yet. There's words that we're all going to learn. And who knows if it's going to be within community or reading a book or listening to someone passively. Like, there's really no way to know how we're going to get it. But again, like, that was the first time I ever heard an elder. Like, that was the first time I ever, like, felt like I did something wrong with a woman's husband. And again, I'm like, well, he is giving me money for cleaning up, like, his office, and like, again, there was a part of me that felt like, he was a big goofy dude, like, and that's what I remember about him. And like, I was grateful that that was going to be like my fake dad, because like, he was such a goofy man. But I think about the ways that, like, us getting along and having connection, like, really did distress her to the point where she just decided to kick me out. And it hurt bad because, again, it's like, you don't, like, I feel like every time I've been kicked out of a foster home, like, they don't tell you they're kicking you out. You just one day, like, all your shit's packed, whatever they wanted to, like, let you have. And again, it's the ways that, like, when they transfer people out of jail, they don't really give a fuck if your cell's cleaned out, bitch. Mm-mm-mm. They don't care about anything you did to make that cell a home. And then I think about the ways that I knew when I moved up in here, this shit was not about to be my home. I'm not about to decorate this shit, but I want to decorate. I'm excited. I'm really hoping the next place is cute, but bitch, who knows? Last thing, because I know I keep saying I'm gonna leave. I know. Last thing. I'm doing a giveaway for all of my clients. I know some of you are not clients, which is just fine. This is not me trying to tell you to buy anything, because the giveaway is only open to people who have been supporting. I did tell somebody that if they ordered before the 10th, that I'll add them in. But again, I've already written. I'm like, where is this? Where is it? I swear, I just rolled some weed on it. Oh. I wrote down the names of all the people that have ever supported my business, like, ever. And I'm talking, like, I went back into, like, my PayPal, my Venmo. Like, I just wanted to create a way to, like, again, acknowledge everyone. And my plan with writing all these names down is I'm gonna put these names in a wig and be dramatic and pull a name out. And the giveaway is for a really big bundle, just so that someone can have a really fun Valentine's Day, or maybe flip it, make some fucking money. I don't give a shit. I just wanted to show some love to somebody out there who's been showing love to me, or who has ever showed love to me. And also, I've decided I'm going to pull some extra names just for some other things, because friends, like, before, okay, I know I keep saying I'm gonna leave. If you are in a legal state or not, you can reach out, of course, but it's called RSO. I'm holding it backwards. Oh no, I'm holding it the right way. It's called RSO Full Spectrum. It says it on the bottom. It might not be the easiest to read, but this is Full Spectrum RSO. I would suggest you look into it, especially if you have elders in your family who may be suffering with cancer and or going through chemo. This will trigger appetite. This will also help with like cannabinoids that are attacking parasitic cancer cells. And also a man was able to cure his skin cancer with this. I know for me, this has helped me avoid going to the MediQuick or going to like a ER clinic. I've had like something called paranoia. I don't know if people have heard of this, but it's where like you get like an ingrown you get a hangnail that gets infected or something. No. It's like when your nail comes off, like when you like maybe break a nail and then you have to pull it from the quick. And again, like it might bleed, it might hurt, and the next thing you know, it starts to puff up with pus or some shit like that. I was able to catch it before it puffed up with pus by cleaning it, putting some RSO on it, and it started to heal in real time. And I was really grateful because again, I've had the opposite where I didn't catch it, I didn't do anything, and then someone had to lance my finger because my finger started to swell up, and it was awful. All off of again a fingernail breaking and the corner being pulled just so it opens up the finger. Again, there are things that are happening in people's mouths. Maybe you have a cracked tooth, maybe you have some gum exposing some of the tooth, whatever the case may be. I've had a lot of mouth issues. Again, I'm a very big smoker, so that happens to us. I added this to some coconut oil and I use it as a mouth rinse. It's really good, but I would say I add a lot of clove to it. You don't have to add that much clove, but I think the clove and the RSO kind of mimic mullein. And so when you do a mouth rinse with this oil, one thing you're going to notice is after 20 minutes, your chest is going to start pulling shit out. So if you have you can't hear mine because it's not that bad, but again, I've done this recently. But if you have like shit in your chest, even if you're sick, COVID, whatever that's hating on me, a mouth rinse will help you get this out. And again, you don't have to medicate it with RSO. You could just use coconut oil by itself with some cloves. That works too. But I prefer the RSO because again, it does have some anti-cancer benefit. And again, as someone that smokes as much as I do, I'd be a fool to think that like I was going to be able to beat like, getting some sort of canceritic scare, So with that being said, even when like I have a tooth that was cracked and I had to get a crown put on it, and I recognize in retrospect, I wish they would have just taken the tooth. Just PS on that. For anyone that has a cracked tooth and wants to put a crown on it or wants to like rebuild it, not worth it. Between me and you, as someone who's done that, yes, the crown is still there. For the most part, the tooth seems to be fine. But again, I would, in retrospect, if a tooth breaks, depending on how significant, if it's broken to the point where someone has to put a new cap on it, I would ask them to take it personally. Again, if I'm talking to my smokers, I'm talking to people who smoke a lot, I would say let them take it, especially if it's in the back of the mouth. Definitely let them take it. Let that hole close up. I've had a tooth extracted on this side. For the most part, no issues. This side, same thing. But every now and then, like I'll get a little grindiness, a little, I don't know. Again, I'm just saying, like, for me personally, just to kind of keep the cancer at bay. I don't know if I can show you this. I'm going to try. But I found a mole on the side of my breast, and I've been putting RSO on it. And I know to somebody right now, like, this probably looks like bad, but I promise you, I think it's actually pulling it out. Like as I put the RSO on it, it's bringing things to the surface in this way that is alarming. But I'm hoping that like by putting the RSO on it again and again and again, that it'll either like start to work itself out and or become something that can maybe be passed. But I need to do more research around titties, you know what I mean? But right now I do have a mole that's kind of worrying me. There's a part of me that wants to reach out to someone, but I really don't want a medical bill. Like I feel like that's my bigger issue, is like I don't want a medical bill. So I've been trying to do a lot of research on my own, but I think it might be worth it to go down to the clinic and see what's up. By the by, findhelp.org, you can find so much on there. If you're someone that travels between multiple places, you can use multiple zip codes. Just PS to anybody out there. Even the buy nothing. Like if you're in Atlanta, there might be buy nothing. You know, look at the like when you live in a big city, there's different sections of the city. Type in like Atlanta. Again, I'm not from down there. I'm not trying to play with you, but you know there may be people in different little pockets. You know, like if you're in Boston, for instance, like there's. I'm trying to think because I'm like, would you? My brain is mush. I guess I'll say Detroit since I'm here now. Like you could do buy nothing Detroit, but if you're right outside the city, you might do buy nothing Hazel Park. You know what I mean? You might do buy nothing Normal Park. You might do buy nothing shit Inkster. You know what I mean? Like again, depending on the big city around you, there may be littler cities. There also, especially with the buy nothing, if there's a place near you that's rich as fuck, like if you know you live in the little city outside of a big rich town, or you live in a little town next to the big rich city, look for the buy nothing in the big rich city. Trust me, because rich people throw away shit that's still good a lot. Like this computer chair, the only issue with this chair is this piece is fucked up. The chair is in perfect fucking condition. It's holding over 400 pounds of bitch. Again, I found this shit outside in my neighborhood, which again is full of like houses where people got some money. So again, if you know where the area is or people got some money, look, because they be throwing away all types of shit, bitch, and it still be good. There's no lump attached to it. At first, it was a very strange little mole. It's getting a little darker. At first, it was brown. Now it's almost black. So again, after using the oil on it, I'm seeing movement. So there's a part of me that feels like I don't see it spreading, but I do see it becoming more to the surface, which I'm hoping the mole can be a place where it exits, you know? Nima, reach out. Like you've been like, bitch. Like I owe you. So please come through. Please come through. Again, I'm making some salve for a friend, which is why I'm bringing this up. A friend of mine has fibromyalgia and asked me, or didn't even ask me for anything, but they're telling me about all this pain that they're in, and they just fell, so they just got more pain. And so I was like, bitch, I'm gonna make you a salve because this may help. And then also I'm about to move, so I got a big chunk of shea butter. So if anybody needs some shea butter, please hit me up. I will just give it away because bitch, I'm not trying to carry this big brick. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. If you need some, I'll melt it down for you and everything, bitch. I'll mix it for you and everything. You can have it, but I need to get rid of it. I'm also trying to take all of the mushroom icicles, ice cubes that I made, and so I took mushrooms yesterday and was like, ooh, like I just been trying so hard to just like get rid of some stuff because like I got a table that I don't want to get rid of. I want to keep it, but bitch, I don't know where the fuck I'm going. So if I don't know where I'm going by next week, bitch, I'm gonna have a table outside too. I mean, here's the thing though, smoking blunts, like for all my blunt smokers, just again, get you some mullein. I also, as I've told y'all before, I smoke rose petals. Like that is part of why, like, I don't be down the baddest. Like I put a lot of rose petals. Like I'm trying to, like, literally. And it's rose petals, it's weed, there's some tobacco in there. I'm not going to give up my menthol just yet. I've been trying to wean myself. And so I got myself a little pack. A little pack of menthol from my Irish homie. Shout out to the Irish folk and their menthol, bitch. The Irish menthol tasty as fuck, bitch. No shade. But yeah, I do that. I mix my shit up just like this. It smells so good, bitch. The menthol with the rose petal and the weed. Ooh, bitch. And the weed I got tonight is called No Bake Cookies. This strain has been holding me down, bitch. It has such a anti-depression, but it's big munchies, bitch. That's the only thing. Like, I feel like it just, like, anything that, like, bitch, it's the way I've been craving cashews, fucking sunflower seed kernels, like, ooh, it's been having me just crave so much stuff. Like, bitch, it's the way I got some fucking mini Keebler, fucking M&M cookies. I ain't had them shits in a minute, but it's just one of those strains that just remind you of all the tastiest things you ever had. So if you don't want to eat too much, don't fuck with her for real, because she is not playing. Like, I swear, I'm terrified at how much I've been eating. Bitch, like, again, I eat a lot. Do not get me wrong, but woo! Like, this shit really had me like, also, bitch, okay, so I think I told y'all my crazy ass client left me alone. Like, low key, we like, bitch, sometime every now and then I'll just like, I'll just manipulate them into thinking I hate their guts. I don't fuck with them just to get more money. I know I'm a mess. I know, I know. But yeah, no, I got him back on me again, bitch, because low key, bitch, he got too much money. He got too much money for me to just, I gotta just steel myself to do him. Exactly the biggest back, bitch. Ooh, pickles, olives, pepperoncini. Ooh, bitch, you just reminded me about pepperoncini on a salad. Ooh, bitch. Oh, like I got some good stuff to make a good salad, bitch. Also, Brianna's, Asiago Caesar, babe. Like, if you're a Caesar salad girl, I promise you, like this is the Caesar salad dressing of all Caesar salad dressings. It has ruined Caesar salad dressings for me. If it's not Brianna's, bitch, it's the way I was eating cucumbers with it. I was drinking that shit like a beer, bitch. That shit is so good, like so dangerous. Oh my god, my heart hurts. Homemade pizza rolls, bitch. Ooh, what flavors though? What you got up in there? Right, and see, here's the thing. Like I said, I got a couple jars to make some shea butter. Here's the thing, it's such a big brick that I could give away a lot of it. I'ma still have some. That's why I'm trying to just let people know if anybody needs a brick, a piece of a brick of fucking shea butter. If you don't want me to do nothing to it, just let me know, bitch. I'm not charging nobody for nothing because again, you helping me, bitch. You're helping me because I don't want it to go bad. I've had it for a little bit. I've had it for maybe like six months about, and I've been keeping it together in like a plastic bag. It's vacuum sealed and everything. It's not there's not wrong with it. It's just a big ass brick, and like I'm really trying to like be honest with myself. Like I don't need everything here. I don't. But again, I'm just trying to share with folk because I know what it's like to be sick or to be not know what the fuck is going on with you, or worse, and you can't afford the medicine. So this stuff has helped me. Like this, like the other day, bitch, I got sick off of fucking a fish po' boy. Who that fish po' boy had me so down bad, bitch. Like I was on the toilet throwing up into a trash can. Everything I was going into the toilet, like bitch, it was one of those double. It was a triple. It was every hole. Any bitch, I was crying. Had tears in my eyes while I was throwing that bitch. It was bad. And bitch, I ain't had food poisoning in a minute. But there's just something about fish food poisoning. Mm-mm-mm. And the worst part is I was hungry as fuck, but I knew from the first bite it was bad. But I couldn't stop. I was like, I gotta eat at least 2 to 3 more bites because I'm starving. But I'm gonna put this shit down and I'm gonna start praying. Put that shit down and was like, please, like, I know y'all know I was hungry, but protect my butthole, please. And honestly, nothing was protected, bitch. I was trying to sleep, bitch. My stomach was going crazy, bitch. You ever roll around your whole bed trying to figure out what's going on with you? And it was an evil, demonic fish po' boy just swirling in my guts. I'm still hurt. Anyways, the next day, it felt like I had swallowed razors. Like I literally, it felt like there was like a band of thorns in my throat. The only thing that helped me is Dane putting probably like 100 milligrams of this. There's 2,000 in here. 100 milligrams in a tea. And that literally brought me back to life. Like without that, I probably would have had a larger recovery time on top of it. When you eat your weed, you don't smoke as much. I took a nap after eating a lot of hash browns and gummies, and I woke up in a great mood. I actually went to the store. I usually fucking don't go to the store. Like honestly, I either am ordering or Dane is getting it. And so it was just nice to go outside and just see people. But I went to this liquor store near my house and I just remember like, man, it's just wild to be outside sometimes because you just see who's out there and I don't know. It's wild. Like whenever I see men in the wild, because it's like it don't matter how fucking Like, bitch, I had the head wrap on, I had this on, I had on the hoodie, had on the chanclas, bitch, in the snow. I was just running, bitch, to the store. It wasn't nothing too serious, but it's the way these men was looking at me like, is that a bitch? And I'm over here like, bitch, I swear, it's just funny sometimes when men be looking at me because they be like, are those titties? There's something about dressing like a truck driver and motherfuckers just looking at you like, why I want to fuck you? Are you a man? I cannot tell. Like, just the way that a man be looking at you like, are you a bitch? Cardinis. I've never had Cardinis. I'm gonna try it. I'll try it at least. Cause again, the way Brianna's got me in a chokehold, I really feel like, wow. Like, I ain't never bought two salad dressings like back to back. Like, I ain't never been about to run out and have to re-up on my salad dressing. But this is just, it's that good, bitch. It's so good. I want to like learn how to make wraps. Like, that's how good it is. I don't even like a wrap. Give me a sandwich, bitch. I want bread all the time. But it's the way I want to make me a nice chicken Caesar wrap. I'm just excited, bitch, for real, because there's just something about just craving something more whole for you. Because, bitch, it's the way I literally ate like a Laffy Taffy for breakfast. Like, again, it's like there's times where I want to, eat well. And then there's times where it's like, two grape Laffy Taffies for breakfast makes sense. Sure does. Little champagne cola. That'll do me. Um, like you really never know. Like I remember this white lady saying that like she used to like take all these supplements and she's like, now I just take Skittles and it had me screaming. Cause I'm like, no, for real. Like it's like I need some energy. I'm not gonna take a probiotic. Like I'm not gonna do this or that. I'm gonna go straight to the source. And then it makes me think about sugar and like how man, sugar really does do something for us, doesn't it? Anyways, I'm gonna go. But I'm screaming. Yeah, no, I feel like my titties be blending, especially with this romper. Sidebar, my friend gave me this romper, and I'm just again overcome with gratefulness because there's just something about all of your body fitting in one thing. Like, thank you. Like, if I gotta cover my titties and my belly and my coochie and my booty at the same time and my legs, you're asking a lot. But it's the way I'm literally about to like get into my sewing bag because I want to make rompers for every season. That is my sewing challenge. Like I want to make one pieces for every season that are like that maybe could be convertible, that maybe could be like altered, like maybe because I feel like sometimes I'll like take this down and I'll just like wear it kind of like bandeau style. But there's a part of me that feels like what I want to do is find a way to make it bandeau style completely because I really don't need the thin ass strings. They're not doing shit for me. But maybe put like a band here or even like sew like some sort of like corseting, some boning or something. Probably not in this one. This is like I don't want to put on panties or a bra. Fuck you. Like it is, I'm covered, I'm comfortable. There's pockets that are deep. Like look how deep my arm is. This is how deep the pocket is. The pocket can hold half of a Subway sandwich. Like, bitch, like every day, this is not promised. And then the fucking pants part is free size and is open as fuck. There's a little cinched waist, a little bit of a cinch here, but for the most part, like I said, what I really want to do is take the straps off of it and put something here, maybe even a lace-up detail. But maybe not here, maybe on the sides, just to cinch it a bit. I'm not sure, but I'm really trying to get into my sewing bag. Like, also, I'm inspired by Baby Mother. It's the way that she's crocheting like all these clothes for herself, and she looks so amazing. And I'm just thinking about the ways that there's so many femmes that are creating like so much stuff. Like, I saw this one femme, she created a skirt that could like move. Like she created like boning, like a robot under her skirt that kind of has like spider legs. And so when she wears a skirt, the skirt can kind of dance. It's so pretty. But again, I'm just so inspired by so many femmes, especially black femmes online, who are just like, bitch, I'm a maker and I'm not going to hide this. I'm not going to hide like my true desires and goals and talents. But as I was saying, I'm going to dip. There's going to be some links in the comment section below. Please check them out, especially if you need some support, because again, bitch, I'll be dead if people didn't care about me. And I know that some people will think like, you know, I'm being dramatic and that's just fine. Like I think if we think about our lives, I think the same could be true to said about anyone's life. I think a lot of us, if we really think about it, all of the effort that has gone into keeping us alive or even keeping us safer, it's humbling. But it's also overwhelming. It can be scary to acknowledge like how much you're not in control, how many acts of kindness really manifested in your life, like a whole new path or perspective. Those things mean something. And so if you don't think so, that's really fine. But don't tell me about it because I don't want to hear it. Okay? Thanks. Love you. Bye.